Welcome back to the channel, and today we are diving into an unbelievable story that could completely change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Because what if I told you that an ordinary looking 1984 1-cent coin could actually be worth up to $20 million due to rare errors, hidden mint mistakes, and extremely unusual production anomalies that most people overlook every single day? And before you think this sounds impossible, collectors around the world have already proven that certain coins with the right combination of features, rarity, and condition can skyrocket in value beyond imagination, and the 1984 penny is one of those mysterious coins that has quietly gained attention among serious numismatists due to a range of fascinating error possibilities that can transform this common coin into a life-changing discovery. So let's explore exactly why this specific year has become so important, starting with the fact that the 1984 1-cent coin was produced in massive numbers, which usually means low value, but hidden within these millions of coins are rare variations that occurred during the minting process, and these variations are what collectors are constantly hunting for. One of the most famous and talked about errors associated with the 1984 penny is the doubled die obverse, a striking visual mistake where parts of the design, especially the inscriptions like the date and the word liberty, appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process, and when this doubling is strong and clearly visible without magnification, it becomes extremely desirable, because it is not damage or wear, it is a true mint error, meaning it happened during production and cannot be replicated, and that alone adds massive value, but that is just the beginning. Because there are also off-center strike errors where the coin design is not properly aligned with the blank planchet, resulting in a portion of the coin missing its design while the rest is shifted to one side, and depending on how dramatic the off-center strike is, and whether the date is still visible, these coins can command huge prices among collectors who appreciate visually striking mint errors. And then there are clipped planchet errors, where part of the coin appears to be missing because the metal blank was improperly cut before striking, leaving a curved or straight clip that is instantly recognizable. And these errors are highly collectible, especially when combined with other anomalies. And speaking of combinations, one of the rarest and most valuable scenarios is when a single coin displays multiple mint errors at once, such as a double die combined with an off-center strike or a clipped planchet. And when such a coin is found in near-perfect condition, the value can increase exponentially, pushing it into the realm of extraordinary valuations like the rumored $20 million figure. And condition plays a critical role in determining value, because coins that have never been circulated and retain their original mint luster are graded much higher, and grading by professional services can significantly impact the final price, especially when a coin receives a near-perfect grade, which is extremely rare for older coins. And another important factor to consider is the metal composition, because although most 1984 pennies were made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating, there are rare cases where planchets intended for different compositions or even experimental strikes may have been used accidentally, creating coins with unusual weight, color, or density. And these anomalies can attract serious attention from collectors who specialize in unique and one-of-a-kind pieces. And then there is the possibility of die cracks and cuts, where parts of the die break or deteriorate over time, leaving raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. And while some minor die cracks are common, major cuts that significantly alter the appearance of the coin can be highly desirable, especially when they are dramatic and clearly visible. And another fascinating aspect is the presence of repunched mint marks or mint mark anomalies. Although by 1984 most mint marks were standardized, there can still be subtle variations that experts look for, and these small details can make a big difference in value when verified. And beyond the physical errors themselves, the story and rarity behind each coin adds another layer of value. Because collectors are not just buying a piece of metal, they are investing in a unique moment in minting history, a mistake that slipped through quality control and entered circulation, and that rarity creates demand, and demand drives price. And when you combine extreme rarity, strong visual appeal, historical significance, and top condition, you get the kind of coin that can reach astonishing valuations. And this is why some collectors are willing to pay millions for the right piece, especially if it is considered the finest known example of its kind, And it is also important to understand that not every 1984 penny will be valuable. In fact, the vast majority are worth only face value. But the key is knowing what to look for, because the difference between a common coin and a multi-million-dollar treasure can be just a small detail that most people would miss. And that is why careful inspection is essential, using proper lighting and magnification to examine every part of the coin, from the date and lettering to the edges and surface texture. And if you ever suspect you have found something unusual, it is crucial to have it authenticated by a reputable grading service, because verification is what turns a possibility into a confirmed rarity, and the excitement of the hunt is what keeps collectors searching through rolls of pennies, old jars of coins, and even everyday pocket change, hoping to uncover that one extraordinary piece that could change their life forever. And stories of such discoveries continue to inspire people around the world, proving that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. And the 1984 1-cent coin stands as a powerful reminder that even the smallest and most ordinary objects can hold incredible value when the right circumstances come together. And as you go through your own coins, remember that every detail matters. Every variation has potential, and every coin has a story waiting to be discovered, so keep looking. Stay curious, and never underestimate the hidden value that might be right in your hands, because the next time you come across a 1984 penny, you might not just be holding 1 cent, you could be holding a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity worth millions beyond imagination. Next, the 1994 1-cent piece that, under the right circumstances, could be worth an unbelievable $17 million. And while that might sound impossible at first, once you understand the rare errors, hidden mint mistakes, and unique production anomalies that can occur during the coin minting process, you will begin to see how something so small and seemingly insignificant can become one of the most valuable discoveries a collector could ever dream of finding. And the truth is that most people handle coins every single day without ever realizing that a tiny detail, a subtle misprint, or an unusual flaw could turn a simple penny into a life-changing treasure. And the 1994 1-cent coin is a perfect example of this incredible possibility, because during that year the United States Mint produced millions of pennies using high-speed machinery and complex die systems. And while the process is designed to be precise, it is not perfect, and when mistakes happen, they create coins that are completely unique, and these are the coins that collectors spend years searching for, starting with one of the most famous and valuable types of mint errors known as the double die obverse, where the design elements on the front of the coin appear double due to a misalignment during the creation of the die itself. And this is not damage or wear, but a true minting error that becomes part of the coin's permanent design. And when the doubling is strong and clearly visible in areas like the date, the word liberty, or the motto "I in God we trust," it can dramatically increase the coin's desirability and value, especially when found in high-grade condition. And moving beyond doubling, another highly sought-after error is the off-center strike, where the coin is struck outside of its normal alignment, causing part of the design to be missing while the rest is shifted, and depending on how far off-center the strike is, and whether the date remains visible, these coins can become extremely valuable, particularly when the error is dramatic and visually striking. And then there are clipped planchet errors, which occur when the metal blank used to create the coin is improperly cut, resulting in a missing section that leaves a distinctive curved or straight edge. And these clipped coins are easily recognizable and highly collectible, especially when the clip is large and clean, and when combined with other errors, the value can increase even further. And speaking of combinations, one of the most exciting possibilities for a 1994 penny is the presence of multiple errors on a single coin, such as a double die combined with an off-center strike or a clipped planchet. And when these rare combinations occur, they create coins that are truly one of a kind, and collectors are willing to pay enormous amounts for such unique pieces, particularly when they are well preserved and authenticated. And another important factor that can elevate the value of a 1994 penny is the condition. Because coins that have never been circulated and retain their original mint luster are far more desirable than those that have been worn down over time, and professional grading services evaluate coins based on a detailed scale, and achieving a near-perfect grade can significantly increase the coin's market value, sometimes by millions of dollars. especially when the coin is already rare due to its error characteristics. And beyond the more obvious errors, there are also subtle anomalies that can make a coin extremely valuable, such as die cracks and cuds, where the die used to strike the coin begins to break or deteriorate, leaving raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. And while minor die cracks are relatively common, major cuds that alter the design in a noticeable way are much rarer and more desirable. And another intriguing possibility involves planchet composition errors, where a coin may be struck on the wrong type of metal blank, resulting in differences in weight, color, or magnetic properties. And these types of errors are particularly rare for modern coins like the 1994 penny, making them highly valuable when discovered. And there is also the chance of broad strike errors, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to expand beyond its normal size and lose its defined edge. And these coins have a unique appearance that makes them stand out immediately. And collectors often seek them out for their unusual look and rarity. And as you begin to understand all of these different possibilities, it becomes clear that the value of a coin is not determined by its face value, but by its rarity, uniqueness, and the story behind how it was created. And in the case of the 1994 1-cent coin, the combination of potential errors, the large mintage that hides these rare pieces, and the excitement of discovering something extraordinary in everyday change all contribute to its legendary status among collectors. And this is why stories continue to emerge of people finding valuable coins in old jars, inherited collections, or even loose change from a simple transaction. And these stories fuel the passion of collectors who spend countless hours searching for that one incredible find. And if you are someone who has never looked closely at your coins before, now might be the perfect time to start, because you never know what you might discover. And the key is to pay attention to the details, examine the coin carefully under good lighting, and look for anything unusual, whether it is doubling, misalignment, missing metal, or strange markings. And if you find something that seems out of the ordinary, it is always a good idea to have it evaluated by a professional, because proper authentication is essential in determining the true value of a coin. And while not every 1994 penny will be worth millions, the possibility that one could be is enough to inspire people around the world to keep searching, and that sense of possibility is what makes coin collecting such an exciting and rewarding hobby, because every coin has the potential to tell a story, and sometimes that story is worth far more than anyone could ever imagine. So as you go about your day and handle coins without thinking, remember that hidden among them could be a rare 1994 1-cent piece with extraordinary errors that make it worth a fortune. And all it takes is a careful eye and a bit of curiosity to uncover something truly amazing. And who knows, the next time you check your pocket change, you might just find a coin that changes your life forever. Next, the 1998 1-cent piece that, under the right conditions and with the right combination of rare mint errors and unusual production mistakes, could be worth as much as $15 million. And while that might sound unbelievable at first, the reality of coin collecting is that value is driven not by face value but by rarity, uniqueness, and the story behind how a coin was created. And the 1998 penny is one of those fascinating cases where small unnoticed details can turn a simple coin into a life-changing discovery. And the reason this particular year and mint mark combination has captured attention is because of the wide range of known and possible minting errors that can occur during production, starting with one of the most famous and highly sought-after varieties known as the wide AM reverse, which is a subtle but extremely important design variation where the letters A and M in the word America are spaced farther apart than usual, and this error occurred because a reverse design intended for proof coins was accidentally used on circulation coins, making these pennies exceptionally rare and highly valuable when identified correctly. And collectors carefully inspect the spacing of these letters because the difference between a common coin and a rare one can be just a tiny gap that most people would never notice. And when a 1998 penny displays this wide AM feature along with strong detail and minimal wear, its value can increase dramatically, especially if it is professionally graded in near-perfect condition. And moving beyond design variations, another major category of valuable errors involves doubled dies, particularly double die obverse or reverse, where elements of the design appear duplicated due to misalignment during die creation. and this doubling can sometimes be seen in the date, the inscriptions, or even Lincoln's features. And when it is bold and clearly visible, it becomes a major point of interest for collectors who seek out these unique pieces. And another striking error that can add immense value is the off-center strike, where the coin is struck outside of its intended position, leaving part of the design missing and the rest shifted to one side. And coins with significant off-center strikes that still show the full date are especially desirable because they combine visual appeal with identifiable information. And then there are clipped planchet errors, which occur before the coin is even struck, when the metal blank is improperly cut, resulting in a missing section that creates a distinctive curved or straight edge, and these errors are instantly recognizable and highly collectible, particularly when the clip is large and the coin remains in good condition. And when such errors appear on a 1998 penny, they can significantly increase its value, especially when combined with other anomalies. And that brings us to one of the most exciting possibilities in coin collecting, which is the presence of multiple errors on a single coin, because when a coin exhibits more than one type of mint mistake, such as a wide AM reverse combined with a double die or an off-center strike, it becomes incredibly rare and desirable. And collectors are often willing to pay extraordinary amounts for such unique combinations, pushing the value into the realm of millions under the right circumstances. And another factor that can contribute to the high value of a 1998 penny is its condition, because coins that have never been circulated and retain their original mint luster are far more valuable than those that have been worn down over time, and professional grading services use a detailed scale to evaluate coins. And achieving a near-perfect grade can dramatically increase the coin's market value, especially when it already possesses rare error characteristics, and beyond the more obvious errors. There are also subtle anomalies that can make a coin extremely valuable, such as die cracks and cuds, where the die used to strike the coin develops fractures or breaks, leaving raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. And while minor die cracks are relatively common, major cuds that significantly alter the design are much rarer and more desirable, and collectors often seek out these dramatic features because they add character and uniqueness to the coin. And another intriguing possibility involves planchet errors, where a coin may be struck on the wrong type of metal blank, resulting in differences in weight, color, or texture. And while most 1998 pennies were made of zinc with a thin copper coating, there are rare cases where unusual planchets may have been used, creating coins that stand out immediately to experienced collectors. And these types of errors are particularly valuable because they are so uncommon and difficult to replicate. And there is also the possibility of broad strike errors, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to expand beyond its normal size and lose its defined edge, giving it a unique and easily recognizable appearance that collectors find fascinating. And in addition to all these technical aspects, the story behind each coin plays a significant role in its value, because collectors are not just buying a piece of metal, they are investing in a moment of history, a mistake that slipped through the mint's quality control and entered circulation. And that rarity combined with demand is what drives prices to extraordinary levels. And the idea that a simple penny could be worth millions continues to inspire people around the world to search through their coins more carefully, looking for that one extraordinary piece that could change their lives forever. And the 1998 1-cent coin serves as a perfect example of how even modern coins can hold incredible value when the right combination of factors comes together. And it reminds us that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. Whether it is in a jar of old coins, a roll from the bank, or even the loose change in your pocket, and the key is to stay curious, pay attention to the details, and never underestimate the potential value of something that might seem ordinary at first glance, because the difference between a common coin and a multimillion-dollar rarity can be as small as a tiny spacing between letters or a slight doubling in the design. And if you ever come across a 1998 penny that looks unusual in any way, it is always worth taking a closer look and having it evaluated by a professional, because proper authentication is essential in determining its true value. And while not every coin will turn out to be valuable, the possibility that one could be is what makes coin collecting such an exciting and rewarding pursuit. And as you continue to explore your own collection or examine your everyday change, remember that every coin has a story, and some of those stories are worth far more than anyone could ever imagine. So keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, the next time you check your coins, you might just discover a rare 1998 penny with extraordinary errors that could be worth a fortune beyond your wildest dreams.